Well, good morning. This is Tracel Wilt with Intracoastal Realty here in Wilmington, North Carolina, and I'm joined again with Rebecca Mickler. Rebecca is with a space to call home. She does home design, interior design, helps you pick out finishes, and also does staging. And I asked her to join us this morning to talk a little bit about trends, what she's seeing in the next season. So what is going on out there? What's going to make someone's house look like it is on point? What are some new things?
Yeah, so if you're looking to make some updates to your home, I think we've all seen the gray trend.
Yes.
And we were just discussing gray is color trends tend to last about 10 to 15 years. So
okay.
You can safely say that, you know, if you paint your whole house gray, you're probably going to be in good shape for another 5 to 10 years.
Okay.
In terms of, you know, feeling like it's outdated.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll shift back maybe towards a brown tone. But for the most part, it's a pretty solid choice.
Okay, great.
And that's just going to be more of a gray, a cooler undertone color. You know, brass is kind of making a comeback, but it tends to be, yeah.
So, okay, to date myself, I grew up in the 90s.
Yes.
Where my parents built a home and we had these fantastic brass fixtures. Mm-hmm. That kind of brass?
Yeah, we have that brass in my house, but it's not that brass. Unfortunately, I have a house that was built in 1992, and it's honey oak and brass everywhere.
Yes, yeah.
And that will not pass for updated brass, unfortunately.
Okay.
The shiny brass is not what I'm referring to. Yes, it is brass, but it is not updated brass. The brass that's out now that you're going to see on all the design shows is more of the muted, kind of the brushed brass, for lack of a better term.
Yes.
So it's not shiny, it's not chromy looking.
Mm-hmm.
I guess chrome is silver, but you know.
Well, what are your thoughts on mixing that? So if someone has a home that has all this brushed nickel, because that was the rage over the last 10 years.
Sure.
I'm starting to see some pictures that have a mix of the brass and this new kind of brushed or muted brass with the brushed nickel. What are your thoughts on that, or is that just because someone hasn't made the full transition?
Well, I think if you're using brass, say, as like your cabinet pulls and your drawers, it can be a standalone. You can mix metals. It's not something you need to necessarily switch out your whole house. Neutrals are neutrals, so you can pull that off and make it work together. You don't need to swap out every light fixture in your house. I wouldn't put like silver pulls and then like brass hardware on the same cabinets.
Okay.
But you know, you don't need to swap out all your doorknobs just because brass is in. If you want to use it as an accent, you certainly can.
I think that's good news for a lot of people because it sounds a little overwhelming to say, oh great, now I have to switch out everything, but to have door handles or perhaps cabinet pulls being different colors.
Yeah,
that's
and I think brass is also trendy.
Okay.
So I think it'll be around for maybe a little bit less time than like maybe you go with rubbed bronze, like the dark colored stuff. Mm-hmm. If you're not excited about the silver stuff anymore, I think that will be a more long-term,
more of a classic.
Yeah, whereas brass I think is going to be a trendy, like this looks great right now, but is it going to look great in 5 or 10 years? I think it's definitely more of a trendy look.
Okay, what about flooring? I'm starting to see in a lot of the model homes people are using what are called a luxury vinyl tile or luxury vinyl planks.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that, and kind of what, if someone's going to put that in, how do you recommend it? Are we still seeing herringbone? Are we seeing straight? What are your thoughts on flooring?
So LVT floors are incredibly durable.
Okay.
They are waterproof, they're scratch proof. They are, I don't want to say they're indestructible, but I mean, as far as a floor goes, I don't know that there's a lot else out there that is going to wear better in every room in your house. The nice thing about LVT floors is that you can put them everywhere. You can put them in your kitchen, you can put them in your bathroom. They're waterproof, which is nice, especially since we're at the beach. You know, you don't have the wear and tear from the sand. You don't have the concerns about a flood or I guess any kind of storm water. So I think LVT, you know, it comes in planks and comes in tiles. And it's basically, it's made to look like wood or it's made to look like tile, and it'll run long just like a wood plank will look. But, so the look is similar to wood or tile, but the finish is different, and it sounds a little bit different when you walk on it because it's a different kind of floor, but it's a very, I guess, responsible choice.
Yes.
It's great for people who own investment properties for renters.
Yep.
Because they can't really do anything. You know, the dogs aren't going to scratch the floors with their nails. Kids aren't going to ruin it. Short of setting it on fire, I don't know what you'd have to do to ruin that floor.
Well, that sounds like it would be great in my house.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody who has a family pretty much can do this. You know, if your dishwasher floods, you don't have to worry that it's going to ruin your wood floors.
Well, and that seems to be a trend as well, having the same flooring run throughout an entire space, and that is a little bit of a concern to run some type of hardwood into your kitchen.
Right.
What happens when it gets wet?
And it will. I mean, what if your dog bowl is splashed over, or what if your kid spills something, you don't realize it for 2 days, you're going to have warped floors.
Yes.
Changing the flooring material when you're in a space, especially the open concept spaces, segments it, and it makes the rooms feel smaller.
Yes.
So I think the reason that everyone is using one floor because it feels bigger in an open concept space to have the one finish. But that also comes with a price if you're using wood in a room where there's potential water damage. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Well, good. Well, great. So it sounds like we can mix our metals, but this brushed or muted brass is making a play for spring.
Yes.
We're still in the grays, which is good to know because we just painted, and I don't want to have to repaint. It's kind of pricey, and then my husband gets grumpy. And then also the new flooring.
Yes.
Well, fantastic. Well, if anyone has questions on any of the things that we talked about today, please reach out to Rebecca. I'll put her contact information in the comment section, or you can comment directly below the video. Thanks again, Rebecca. Really appreciate all the information that you shared with everyone.
I liked being here.
Great.